Well, now it's time to get working on this. So basically what I want to do to this is we are going to clean it, of course. Wheels are dirty, this and that. We need to take each one of these off completely and clean them and polish them, all that kind of stuff. I need to get underneath the rear end, see what kind of rear end this thing has on it. Is it 10 bolt? Is it 12 bolt? I think it's a 12 bolt, which we'll talk about that in a little bit once I get underneath there. We've got to go ahead, which I don't have the money right now, but we've got to go ahead and we got to get new front end on this thing, because I don't know if you can tell, that's water. Yeah, headlights full of water. So headlights broken, they're nasty, it's cracked. So we got it here, we might as well go ahead, get it out, and let's go ahead and start working on this and getting this up to par. So I guess let's get started. Okay, so next day, after moving the Silverado up in the driveway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be, basically, I was gonna do some other things. Today we're just gonna work on the Silverado. That's it. But I wanna get underneath here and look at something real quick. So what I'm doing is I want to see where this tow hook, so you can see the tow hook is right here, basically how it mounts. Basically there's 2 bolts right there through the frame. So we're gonna see so this is 4-wheel drive, a Silverado out front, 2-wheel drive. So I'm gonna see if this system, I mean, the frame shouldn't be that much different. So I want to see if these holes are on here. And if we are, we're going to take one of these off today. Now, I was going to go to the junkyard, and there's always OBSs at the junkyard. So I just haven't had a chance to get over there yet. But I want to go ahead, get underneath this truck as it is, and check the rear end out. But also, well, might as well get under and check and see if I can put a tow hook on it. And if I can, I'll go ahead and put one on it now, go to the junkyard, and we'll scoop one up later. So good gracious. All right, where did I just put my flashlight? Here it is. Yeah, I know, no jack stand. Oh yeah, there's the 2 holes right there. Perfect. So I can take that one off. We're gonna, of course, we're gonna have to cut a hole, you know, in here to get it to loop through. So basically we have to cut a hole right in here. So I guess I'm gonna go about, get the one off the other truck, and I'll go ahead, measure that all out, and, you know, measure for where it needs to be, the hole needs to be cut through. Try not to cut a big hole, little as possible. So let me get that going. I got the hole cut. It's a little bit bigger than what I wanted to, but kind of can't help it. So it's there. You can get a hoist around, strap around it. Like I said, it's a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but this thing's kind of big, so it's all right. I did cut about 1 inch off of this, which I'll show you that. because they loop, you know, if I cut the hole really big, like what was there, you know, it was looping back underneath, and you can't get the stuff on there. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get this cleaned up and get it painted so it stands out, which we have paint somewhere around here, and then we'll get it mounted, and then we'll get under the rear end. So let me get this painted. So I totally like forgot how long it takes, you know, Rust-Oleum paint to dry. So here it is. I painted the tow hitch bright red, so that way it'll stand out when it's on the front of the truck. So let's go ahead and get it installed. Again, I wanted it bright red so it does stand out against the black, you know, air dam, all that kind of stuff. So I think that was the best move. And I think it'll look good. All right, like I said, it took a little while. All right, there's that. And there you go. I'm just gonna say, first drift mod. I know it's a tow hook, but hey, you gotta have these on for drifting. Just in case you break down, they gotta be able to tow you off. So there you go. First drift mod. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get underneath the back of this and see if, well, basically what kind of rear end I have. So, oh yeah, I do two things. First thing, I was gonna put the hook hitch on the back of this, so you could basically take this out and there's a new receiver that goes into there, and it's just a hook. So then I would have a hook on the back and a hook on the front, drift regulations. Harbor Freight was out of them, so didn't put it on there. Next thing is, I love having an airbag suspension on the back of this thing. It makes it so easy just to pick the back of the truck up and slide underneath. Okay. So looking at the rear end, let's see here, let's count bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 bolt. So that means it's a 10 bolt rear end. And it's round. So I've already looked, I'll just go ahead and look in a second. But the 10 bolt rear ends, the cover is round. The 12 bolt rear end, it's kind of odd shaped. And of course, 12 bolts. So let's get on my phone real quick. Just smack my GoPro on the truck. So like I said, all right, here we go. So right here, 10 bolt, and you can see it is round, and you know, 10 bolts. 12 bolt truck is right there. Of course, 12 bolts, and it's an odd shape. So I have a GM 10 bolt in the back of this thing. All right, so that's good to know. That's perfect. So, like I said, I am going to order a spool for this thing. I'm going to order a mini spool because it's just so much easier. You can basically pop the cap off the back of this thing, take the spider gears out of the middle, put the mini spool in. So, just got to order. And those things, you can get them off of Jegs and a whole bunch of other places for less than $100. And the cool thing about something like this, since it has the cap, you just pull it off. You don't have to weld the rear end on this like a lot of import guys do. You just put the mini spool in. Now, it is a little bit of work, but at the same time, it's reversible. Take the mini spool out, put the gears back in. Versus like, you know, a car that you weld the diff, you have to get a whole new diff. This is reversible in like half hour, easy. So that's something. The next thing we'll be doing is getting a spool for the back of this thing. We've got a lot more things to do on this, so we gotta get on shopping. because I got a few things that we really need to get on this. So I guess we can get on shopping. But next video is we're going to be working on this, and we're going to take that out. So next video is small CC. We're not worrying about big vehicles. Get on the small vehicles next video, so stay tuned for that. I guess we'll catch you then.